Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic in human resource management, human resource planning, also known as HR planning. Human resource planning is all about making sure that an organization has the right number of people with the right skill at the right place and at the right time. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand what HR planning is, why it is important, and how organizations plan their human resources effectively. Before we formally define human resource planning, let me explain it using a simple example. Imagine you want to build a strong building. You cannot build everything using one type of block. To build a tower, you need square blocks. To build a roof, you need triangles. To build an arch, you need curves. The key idea here is simple. You need the right block in the right place to ensure stability. In the same way, an organization cannot function properly if it has only one type of employee or if employees are placed incorrectly. Human resource planning ensures that the organization uses the right people in the right roles, just like using the right building blocks. Now, let's look at a formal definition of human resource planning. Human resource planning can be recognized as a process by which an organization ensures that it has the right number of people and the right kind of people at the right place at the right time, doing things for which they are economically most useful. This definition highlights 5 important elements: right number, right kind, right place, right time, and economic usefulness. All the upcoming slides will explain these elements one by one in a very simple way. First, let's talk about having the right number of people in an organization. If an organization has too few employees, it creates employee shortage. This leads to work overload, stress, burnout, and missed deadlines. On the other hand, if the organization has too many employees, it creates employee surplus. This results in high labor cost, low productivity, and idle workforce. Human resource planning helps organizations maintain a balance, not too few employees and not too many employees, but the right number. Next, let's look at the importance of having the right kind of people. Sometimes organizations hire employees who are underqualified or overqualified for a job. This creates confusion, poor performance, frustration, and wastage of resources. But when an organization hires the right people with the right skill, knowledge, and attitude, productivity increases, work quality improves, and organization can achieve their goals and objectives as the way they plan. Human resource planning ensures proper skill match between employees and jobs. Now let's discuss the right place. Even a talented employee will perform poorly if placed in the wrong job or department. When employees are placed in the wrong role, it leads to dissatisfaction, errors, and low efficiency. But when the same employee is placed in the right job that matches their abilities, performance improves, motivation increases, and results become visible. Human resource planning ensures correct placement of employee within the organization. Right time. If an organization hires employees too late, it faces vacancies, work delays, and pressure on existing staff. However, if the organization plans in advance, it can maintain a pool of ready candidates. This means employees are available exactly when they are needed. Human resource planning helps organization move from being reactive to being proactive. Now let's understand the main objectives of human resource planning. First, it ensures adequate supply and quality of human resource. Second, it helps in optimal utilization of available employees. Third, it enables organizations to adapt to changes such as technology and economic conditions. Fourth, it supports recruitment, selection, training, and development activities. Finally, it improves efficiency by reducing labor cost and maintaining good industrial relations. In short, HR planning support both organizational growth and employee well-being. Let's now look at the human resource planning process. This process starts with analyzing organizational objectives and plans. Then, organization forecasts human resource demand. After that, it assesses the available human resource supply. If demand and supply match, the process ends. But if there's a variance, it leads to either surplus or shortage of employees. Based on this, management take appropriate decisions such as recruitment, training or downsizing, followed by review and feedback. The first step in human resource planning is analyzing organizational goals and objectives and plans. Organizations have both short term and long term objectives. For example, short term objectives may be hiring 15 customer support staff within 3 months to handle increased customer inquiries. A long term objective could be establishing a new manufacturing unit within 5 years and expanding production capacity. By understanding these objectives, HR managers can plan workforce requirements effectively. Now let's move to step 2 of the HR planning process, human resource demand. In this step, the organization estimates the number and the type of employee required to achieve its objectives. In simple words, here HR managers try to answer one key question. How many employees do we need and what kind of skills should they have? This step involves forecasting future workforce needs based on business activities. Human resource demand forecasting depend on several factors such as uh, demand for goods and services, organizational objectives and plans, changes in production methods or technology, employee retirement, resignations, leave, and even unexpected events. External factors like political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal changes. So, here HR demand is not guessed, it is carefully planned. Next comes step 3, human resource supply. The main purpose of this step is to avoid overstaffing and understaffing. Here, the organization assesses the existing workforce, how many employees it already has, their skill, experience, and performance levels. This step helps HR managers check whether there are enough qualified employees available internally to meet future needs. In short, HR supply focus on what the organization already has, while HR demand focus on what the organization needs. After estimating demand and supply, we move to step 4, identifying HR gaps. In this step, HR demand is compared with HR supply. If demand is higher than supply, there's a shortage of employees. If supply is higher than demand, there's an excess or surplus of employees. Once the gap is identified, HR managers prepare suitable action plans to bridge this gap. This step is very important because it helps organizations maintain balance and efficiency. Now let's look at step 5, actions to fill the gap, starting with how organizations handle employee surplus. When there are too many employees, organizations may take actions such as stopping recruitment, transferring excess employees to vacant positions, reducing or stopping overtime, introducing voluntary retirement schemes. So these actions help organizations to reduce unnecessary labor cost without harming employee morale. Now let's see how organizations deal with employee shortages. When there are not enough employees, organizations may recruit new employees, introduce or increase overtime, use contract or temporary workers, outsource certain activities, train and develop existing employees and assign additional responsibilities, or invest in automation and technology. So these strategies help organizations to continue operations smoothly even when workforce demand increases. The final step in this HR planning process is review and feedback. Once action plans are implemented, the human resource structure and system must be reviewed regularly. This helps the organizations ensure that HR plans are working as expected. On the other hand, cost control is also an important part of this stage. This continuous review and feedback make HR planning a dynamic and ongoing process, not a one-time activity. Even though HR planning is essential, it is not without challenges. Organizations face several difficulties such as rapid technological advancement, economic fluctuations, changing workforce demographics, legal and regulatory changes, resistance to change from employees. So these challenges make HR planning more complex, but effective planning helps organizations stay prepared and competitive. So to summarize, human resource planning ensures that organizations have the right people in the right number at the right place at the right time. It helps improve productivity, control cost, and support long-term organizational success. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.